the Pell Grant and all the other grants, they made it very easy to borrow money for school. But if you wanted to get a business loan, you could get $50,000 to go to school like that. Like that. They give it out just as easy as credit cards when you turn 18, right? Because that's another thing you get when you're 18. But to get money to do other things that may be beneficial for you, is much harder, as we know. So, and we also have the aspect of trades that were diminished in school. So trades, they started to fade a lot. I think there was still auto shop in the 90s, but and wood shop and all these trades started to really fade away. And you just had, you either go to college or you're going to fail. And that was what was marketed to the kids. So I think it's a very interesting thing. Again, I'm not against college, but I want to hear everybody's opinion.
I did go to college. I went to two HBCUs. I started at Morgan State. Then I had to come home because I had my son. And then I went back to UDC, which is the University of the District of Columbia. Totally different majors and everything, right? I loved college. Yes. The experiences, the long lasting friendships, that I gained from those experiences are just, they can't be replaced. So I'm so for college, right? Now, the debt, that part, yeah, I'm not happy about that part. And I agree with you. Like, I think I would do it a little differently too. Because it's crazy that I just thought about that the other day too. I'm like, look at all these kids now just going for trades. They don't even want to go to college at all. It's not even a thought. You know what I mean? And they're doing
Mm-hmm.
so much better than people who have degrees, masters, even doctorates. You know what I'm saying? So it blows my mind. But yeah, what you said was just right on the nail on the head. When you said that the trade went down when we were coming up, it was, you better go to college, you better get that degree, you better get yourself a job, and that's just the way it goes. Or get in the government, so you have that job that you know is consistent, it's not going to go anywhere, so they say. You never know. But I mean, that was just embedded in us, and so that's what I did, and that's what I thought I had to do
Mm-hmm.
to make it. And it's like, now, just being a little personal, my son, he didn't want to go to college at all.
Mm.
And I was like, no, you gotta go, you gotta go. And then my mom had to sit me down and say, listen, he is not you. He's not you. He has to find his
Mm.
own path, and times have changed. You know what I'm saying? So let him do what he wants to do. And so now that's what he's doing. He's doing trade to get into HVAC. That's his focus. That's what I said. Yeah, you'll always have a job in HVAC.
Mm-hmm. Those
That's
jobs are
incredible.
high demand, actually. Yeah.
Yes,
Those,
Yes.
I saw something recently. It was saying like plumbers, HVAC, and welding.
yes,
Those are the
Mhm.
ones
yes.
that don't have enough people, and they're about to be paid a lot
Oh,
more because of
absolutely.
it.
That's incredible that
Yeah.
just to jump in real quick, that's incredible that your mom had that conversation with you. I think that's so dope because, had she not had that conversation with you and not giving you the aspect to see, well, you know what, there are other paths.
Right.
Um, and it's interesting because the trades are, now people are starting to catch on, and I feel like people are starting to realize HVAC, plumbing, electricians, all these things that we weren't blue collar things that we were thinking like, oh, you don't want to be blue collar, you want to go get your degree and sit in the office,
Yep.
which is okay too. But for a time, that was like the only narrative. Like, there was no conversation in high school with guidance counselors about doing any trade.
No,
People just look down on that. Oh, you're
that's
going to be a
true.
plumber. Now they're looking and saying, yeah, there's people who are electricians, plumbers. They're making six figures. They have no debt. Meanwhile, like you
Yeah.
said, people with degrees, depending on the degree you have, you know,
You have a
you're in a real
master's degree working
situation.
at Starbucks.
So,
Like, yeah, It's a different world.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. So it's not a one size fits all. So I think it's so dope that your mom had that conversation with you
Yeah,
because
because I was,
you know,
it was really getting to me, as a mom, I'm like, why isn't he listening? Why isn't he doing this? Am I doing something wrong as a mom? You know what I mean? Like, I was really battling with this. And she was like, calm down, like, he's going to be okay. And it took a while for him to figure it out because I just was like, I wanted him to do something. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
finally took his time and he said, this is what I want to do. Now he's taking classes, he's taking courses, he's on the path. I'm like, okay, I see where you're
yeah,
going, because that could have drove a wedge between us,
right.
being mother and son. So, so I'm glad he found that path. I'm like, listen, anytime something's broke over, you just come fix my stuff for free. You know,
You gonna save a lot of money.
For real.
yeah. So I'm
You
like,
about to save a lot of money.
yeah. So I'm like, you know what? That's great. That's a great path for you. I mean, this college debt is no joke. It's no joke. Do you see how many people are begging for Biden to clear our debt? I mean,
Yeah,
it's over our head. It's something that's always looming. It's always there. And you don't like, I know I don't like that weight on me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
definitely.
always there. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
I think that I would have done things differently as well.
Mhm.
I mean, I loved college. I loved grad school. I enjoyed all of it. And I really liked the school that I went to.
Mhm.
However, in retrospect, when I think about the debt aspect, I would have chosen to obtain my education in a more financially practical way. I think
Agreed.
that and when we were coming up, if your parents didn't have money for college, you just thought, well, I got to go to school and I'm just going to have to get these loans. And you didn't really, at the time, you didn't focus on what paying that back was really going to look like.
Yeah.
You should.
It didn't really register.
A million years
And
away.
it was a million years away, and you thought, "Oh, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it." Right now,
Mhm.
I just got to get my degree. I just got to get that piece of paper. You were trying to make your parents happy. You were trying to have a certain status and trying to do all these things. And then now, fast forward 25 years later, and it's time to pay the piper. You're like, damn, how much I got to pay a month? And for how long? And then they make it so there's no way to get out of these loans. You can't file for bankruptcy. The only way to get out of these loans is to be
To die.
To die. I was gonna say the same
or
thing.
die. Those are your two options. You got to be permanently disabled to where you
Or
can
die.
never ever work ever again in life, or die.
Yeah.
So it's like you're almost it's almost really discouraging because you're like, man, will I ever make enough money to pay these off?
Yeah.
You know,